What is up, dudes and dudettes? It is Connor with Hound Dog Motorsports, and I have a gift not only for you guys, but also the 335i and my neighbor. She likes to complain about when I head to work. I usually wake up at about 4:45 to go ahead and go to the gym, then go to work. And no matter what vehicle I take, whether it's the X5 diesel, the 335i, or even my girlfriend's Honda Accord Sport, according to her, the pressure from the exhaust is waking her up, which I totally understand if I was unemployed and wanting to sleep in. But I'm not, so I don't get that luxury. So I've decided to give a gift to her, and that is a 10-inch sub and amp that I copped off of Facebook Marketplace. So we're gonna go ahead and install that and give her a nice wake-up call every single morning when I wake up for work and give her an actual reason to complain. So no, let's just hop right on into it. So the hardest part of this is deciding whether I want to do the hard part first or the easy part first. The hard part is taking apart the front end of the dash, removing the CarPlay that I have in there, and then running the wires all the way to the back. It's a BMW, so the battery is in the trunk, so it's a little bit easier to set these up than a USDM car or a JDM car where the battery is in the front. These are so much easier. Thank you, BMW, for that. Thank you for considering weight distribution and all this other stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a sip of my water and debate that. Let's go ahead and do the hard part first. Just get it done and over with. Yeah, I just got a single audio out.
One eternity later.
So one of the pros of being clinically retarded and being overly confident is that I did absolutely no research on this. And come to find out, I need a line output converter, which I've never hooked up, not even on my E46. But this was already hooked up for it before. Looking here, all the wires that I did after some research that I will need to tap into have already been tapped into. So I'm gonna go pick up a line output converter, get that, hook it up, put everything back together up front, which sucks that I did that for no reason at this point, and maybe be done with this at the end of the day. I hate how busy Walmart is. I'm such a Target snob, but Walmart sometimes is the only place that has the stuff you need, and thankfully they did. Got the line output converter, I got the connectors that I needed and a few other things. So heading home now, and hopefully I get it all set up tonight. And I don't need any other special stuff.
You sure about that?
Because this is obviously not simple. They made it simple to wire everything and well, run the wires and everything, but not simple to hook up, which kind of sucks. But I mean, it's my first time running a line converter output, so maybe it's not that bad in the future when I do it on the X5, but we'll see. I got everything I need, the connectors, the LCA or LCO, whatever you want to call it. It's all done. I got it. Now I can actually start on the installation. All that. I'm really pissed I wasted all that time, but it's still something. I got to put that all back together. Let's start on the actual installation. So looking at the car, you can see that I've had splices in here before, which I removed when I first got the car because they were wired up to nothing, which I now know was an amp and a low output connector or controller, whatever you want to call it. And I'm now reinstalling it, but it's nice because the wires are already labeled, and I really don't need to hunt them down. So let's just hop right into it. I always like breaking out my electrical tools because I spent a lot of money on these. So I'm tearing and terminating off all the previous connections on here to make it one clean setup. Might help if I climb in a little bit. Kind of sucks. All right, you guys can see how cramped I'm getting. Some of these are soldered in, some of these aren't, which is a little goofy. I guess they gave up, which I don't blame them. Doing that kind of sucks in this cramped environment. They also used speaker wire here, which I think is a little weird, but I'm not the one who did it, so who knows. Their reasoning behind it, popping right on off. Now I'm gonna pull out the wiring diagram. I should have kept the box. That would have been smart. Made in Vietnam, that's how you know it's quality. All right, this should give you guys a better view. So I'm plugging in gray black to blue brown. That works for me. The next one, so white goes to blue black. I don't know why they had these tapped, or they did not have these tapped. Let me double check something. Trusting the process a little bit here. Man, these things are really coiled up. White black goes to LR negative, which will be the yellow brown. I hate how finicky these things are. They just love to like just not cooperate. All right. I got 3 more in this circuit. I'm pretty sure that's a remote wire right here, this blue one. And the black one is a ground. The yellow one, I am not sure. Yellow is 12 volt signal. So if I'm understanding this correctly, the 12 volt power, 12 volt signal, and negative can all go to the amp. Just gonna see if that works. I'm not even sure if I wired this correctly, but we'll see. I'm probably right. I'm rarely wrong, but I'm interested in being wrong.
Right.
So apparently I can use a speaker output as a 12 volt signal, so we're gonna try that. I'm tapping into the blue white, which should be, maybe that works, who knows. Saying that black brown is a negative. So for my negative connection, I'm gonna tie into that. There we go. So the only thing left is the remote wire. I really don't like how there's not a light for this. It doesn't tell you if it's on or not. All right, I guess I'm just gonna have to wing it from here. I'm gonna keep on trying some things like hooking up the amp, so that's next. Set that to the side. So I'm gonna pull all of this out, bringing up all the audio stuff, and wiring this shit. Now I gotta strip this and connect it to a ground. So I got this. Should have ran this before I cut off the cover, but this is how it's gonna go. Should probably snip off a little bit more. So if you guys haven't noticed by now, the amplifier, it takes a proprietary cable to hook up everything. I'm not doing all that. I'm just gonna go out, buy a new amplifier, hope that that works better. But so far, Scar has not been a good experience. Really don't like them whatsoever. That's kind of trashy to make a proprietary cable in order just to hook up your subs. I wish I knew that before. I wish I knew the seller on Facebook Marketplace didn't have it, but it's whatever. We'll go buy a new one. Well, I thought I was recording for all that. Turns out I was not. Got everything hooked up, and we got it in protection mode. I don't know what that means. So within this jumbled, mumbled mess, I have everything wired up besides the sub itself. I'm gonna hook up the sub and then hope everything works. Probably won't, but we'll see. I really don't know which one of these is negative and which one of these is positive. Pretty sure it has to do with the correlation of black and white, negative, positive, whatever it may be, but I really do not know, so it's a crapshoot with this one. Let's see if this works. I'm confused, but I mean, everything is hooked up, so I should be able to test the speaker now. Let's see if that sub works. It is not working. So something is wrong. For beginners, these are backwards. See if that makes a change. No change. All right, I hooked up the bass knob. Let's see if it changes. I'm pretty sure it is working, it's just really low, so I gotta figure that out. It's gonna be a lot, but gotta figure it out. I figured it out. After God knows how long, I finally got this thing running. I needed to switch the wires over to the amp wire. It was sectioned off to run off of the window or the door speaker. That's the wrong, or the rear tweeter or whatever it may be, the rear speaker. It needs to be wired to the amp. So if anyone's watching this in the future, wire it to the amp. Save yourself a lot of time, wire it to the amp. And as soon as I did that, dude, this thing started thumping. It started thumping. Like, it is the perfect amount of thump that I want. So what's left to do is I got to clean all this up, clean all this stuff up in the cabin, put this all back together, and then call it a day. So I'm not gonna record the entire process, but what I am gonna do is I'm gonna do a time lapse for y'all. So stick around to the end and I'll give you guys my final thoughts and a show of what it looks like and how it runs. So it is now the next day, and I am not joking when I say it took me all night. I was up until like 11:30 getting this all set up. But it is all in. It needs to be bolted down some way, but it is all in, super clean. Can't even see wiring unless it's the RCA cables. And it looks amazing. It sounds even better. I am happy with the outcome. I'm just not happy with how long it took me, because that was absolutely miserable. The last reference I'll make is the remote cable is coming through the center console all the way to the cigarette lighter, which is in there for the center console. That's what I use for my remote trigger, and then of course the amp adjuster is going through there. But other than that, I used all the same connections that I showed you guys in the video. It's pretty straightforward. It's just an absolute pain. It's not as simple as, you know, running RCA cables from the front and the back and a remote wire and calling it a day, which sucks because it makes this much more difficult than what it needs to be. But it's all set up. I can't play it for you guys because, you know, YouTube does not like that sort of stuff, but it's all, it's thumping. I'm absolutely ecstatic. I love it. And if you guys have made it to this part of the video, leave a comment on like where you guys ran your wiring, or where you guys plan to run your wiring, how I could show you guys something better. I probably will end up making a diagram for y'all and putting it in a Google Doc or whatever it may be. But if there's any comments, questions, or concerns, be sure to drop them down in the comments below. I'd really appreciate it. I have no problem like helping anybody. I absolutely love doing this stuff because this is kind of uncharted territory a little bit. But that is all for this video. If you guys have made it to the end, I'd appreciate you guys subscribing or liking the video or dropping a comment like I said, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one.